What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Recently I've been experimenting with different video types, and it seems that you guys really like different stuff than I've been making before, not just tank tutorials, and I realize that I'm kind of lacking creativity, so I am making a different video today. Still playing the T100 just because that's what I like to play, but I'm going to be making a video on how to help you guys carry games more. So I have two close games here, and I'm just going to kind of explain my thought process towards the end and how I'm making movements and plays that will increase my team's chances of actually winning the game. And while I farm this AFK leopard, I just want to say I just pulled out my phone to look at my YouTube Studio app, and there's like 1,000,000 positive comments, and I'm up over 300 subs just overnight. And I just want to thank every last one of you that's like said something supportive, even if you've just watched the video, and the people that have helped my channel grow. I really appreciate it, and it's pretty cool to see all of you guys like saying these comments that just are positive and supportive for me. I never thought that I would actually have an audience like this. So again, thanks, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, so moving on to the gameplay here, that leopard got a head start on our damage for us and frees up an enemy medium slot. So now I don't have to worry about one of their mediums, but we're about to lose 2 tanks, and the only reason that I sit at that spot is to shoot the crossing at the beginning of the game. I don't stay there for too long, because if their other medium or another tank wanders down to the island to my left, I kind of have to get out and I'm in a crossfire, and if someone's poking the hill while I'm getting shot from the left, I'm going to take a lot of damage. So I leave there as quickly as I can, and since we already have 2 tanks in the town, I'm just going to head over here and shoot down this wall, try to farm this 183. Now the 183, I don't even need to pen him, because keep in mind, when I shoot someone and hit them when they're spotted for 20 seconds. So as long as I make contact with like a tank destroyer in the back, he counted to 10, didn't realize I hit him, and backed up, still spotted. So it's really nice to just hit people with this tank. It's pretty effective. And as we're doing this, our IS-8 is kind of YOLOing in, but at the same time, he's creating a great distraction for me to be able to farm this WT. And if you look at the map, we're kind of forcing their team to push. And while we do this as their team is pushing, it's kind of the best time to do it, unless it would be if our team was pushing the hill at the same time, but we don't have enough tanks to do that. If we did this when there was just a standstill, the enemy team would probably turn around and just kill us. So you kind of have to be able to time this to know, like, am I in a crossfire? Am I not in a crossfire? And since they're driving forwards away from where we're going, they're probably not going to turn around and just ignore the tanks that are shooting them in front of them to kill us. So we took the positioning, and now the enemy is kind of figuring out where we're at, because most pub players don't have the best awareness, so they knew they were killing stuff in front of them. They knew their team was dying, and now they have to kind of stop and figure out what's going on. And I'm going to take advantage of the players low in the river first, because that's the hardest spot to leave. They're on low terrain resistance in the water. They don't move very quickly, and they have to drive up a hill and out of that big bowl to get safe, and that's probably the worst position to be while you're getting farmed. So I get rid of that E50M, and now I'm going to move over here because our Badger is getting pushed, and I need to get value out of my team before they die. It doesn't matter like if he's a good player, if he's a bad player, if he's in a really bad position or a really good position. You want to get value off of your team's HP. And what I mean by that is, as they kill him, they're shooting him, not me. So I can farm them for free as long as they don't turn and look at me, which then he lives for a little bit longer. I can make them look at me and then peek at another time. So they can only look at one target at a time, and then they have like a 10-second reload. And for a tank that has a 5-second reload, that's really efficient. So I worked down that Type 71 because he was in the middle and everybody was kind of shooting him. And I want to focus the low HP targets first, because the more kills I get, the less guns are shooting back at me. So now we have the Type 71 is dead. We're just going to kill this VK-72, and now it's just a 1v1. And that's kind of what you want to be thinking about. You want to create the crossfires so that you're in a position so that at the end of the game, you can pick off the easiest targets first. If I hadn't flanked around, I would have had to worry about like a 2-part push, because I would have had to push back on the heavies or farm them from my spawn, and then I would have had to move forwards and then find the enemy tank destroyers and kill them a second time. So instead I killed the enemy tank destroyers from afar using my IS-8 for spotting. And it's not a bad idea to use your teammates. Like, if you can do that, if he's willing to make that push for free, by all means he's doing that for you. So I farmed off the tank destroyers, we killed them, and then we get up to that balcony and we have crossfire on everybody, and they have to push us to win the game. So you want to put yourself in a position that you know you can defend, because if it's in a position where they can just push you and kill you, probably not the best. But then we focus fire, we work down the lowest HP opponents first, and then we go in when we absolutely need to and clean up the rest of the tanks. So that's our first game on mines. I hope that it's easier for you guys to apply that kind of thought process to other maps. I'm going to give you one more example here on what map is this? Yamato Harbor. But hopefully it's easy, because I can easily just say, like, you need to create a crossfire and work down the low HP tanks, but it's hard to apply that to other maps and other situations. So just try to be thinking about that, and as you do it, you'll kind of see it. But I can only give you so many examples. I hope it helps, though. Anyway, moving on to this map. At the beginning, I go here, and the reason I go here is because of that crossing. I get a free shot, and if you're quick enough about it, a lot of people don't notice or don't react in time. And if you saw that tree fall in the back, the reason I'm holding this angle now is because if somebody sits in that tree, I'm not going to outspot them from there, and I'll just get shot because they'll spot me. So I want to hide myself from everywhere except for where that Sheridan might peek, and I don't want to trade with him. I was just going to try to snap a shot if he accidentally peeked or something. Now I'm just going to try to go unspotted, because this is the same kind of idea as the mine spot. If I'm on the left side of the hill and they start peeking really aggressively on the left side of the hill, I'll just start to take damage. If I'm where I was on the right side of the hill, because they're aggressively peeking on the left side of the hill towards the red line, and somebody's up on the ship, I'm just going to get farmed for free. And if I don't move until I start getting farmed, I'm going to have to leave while I'm spotted, and leaving that position while you're spotted is like a guaranteed death. So I leave earlier on in the game when I'm more likely to be able to get out, because I know when I'm spotted, when I'm not. I know where most of the tanks are, and I don't want to sit there and find out whether or not I'm going to get farmed. So I moved over here, and now we know where absolutely all their tanks were. So now we found out basically I would have been fine there, but I wouldn't have been accomplishing as much as I am now. And I'm just cleaning up this E50 because he's stock, and like I've said before, if you want to win the game, you need to be able to kill tanks. So each shot that you take is the same amount of damage. I'm not missing out on damage by shooting a lower HP target. I'm still going to get the same amount of damage at the end of the day. So I'm going to kill the easiest guy to kill first. And the reason I left is because I didn't want to have him fully push me and then have the T-54 come with me as well. And I know that if he crosses that while he's spotted, chances are somebody in the back is going to pick him up. So I rotate back around to try to take as little damage from that as possible. And now that I'm unspotted again, I'm going to leave out here and try to get an angle where I can spot without being outspotted by whoever's in their bush here. And it turns out it's a T-54. So I'm going to drive to here. I know that when I shoot, I'm going to get spotted, but at 196 meters, I'm not going to get spotted from driving in a T-100. It just isn't going to happen. So I take a stupid shot there. I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. He's now spotted for 20 seconds. I'm only spotted for 10 after I took that second shot. And we're just going to kind of trick him into thinking that we're driving this way, hopefully. I don't know if it's going to work just because of how obvious it is that when I start shooting where I'm at. But now I'm going to go to this little area here that's far away, and I'll hopefully spot them and not get spotted for firing in return at this distance. Now, that shot I know I'm not going to get spotted for because there's a tree between me and him, but I also want to spot this Minotauro. Now, I'm going to do the same trick with the tree. If I put the tree between us and there's nothing else that I'm not spotting that's going to outspot me, if it's just that Minotauro there, I'm not going to get spotted. So I get two shots into him for free, but I don't want this 183 to get up really, really far into the map and start getting more kills. Like, he just killed our Object 752. So now I'm going to go try to clean him up because this Minotauro is kind of stuck. He's out of the fight right now. He's backed down and he's not doing anything. This guy is actively trying to make a play, so I'm going to try to get rid of him while he's making that play because he's just driven into a crossfire that I'm creating. So while we're at a tank advantage here after I kill this guy, I'm going to explain why we're in a winning position at this game, in my opinion. So basically their tanks are in a line all on, if you look at the map, the line drawn vertically from the side of the city over to the grass, that's where they are, and they're up on the front midpoint of the map except for their Minotauro. So they have like one quadrant of the map only. I'm over here. This guy knows that I'm spotting him. The reason I'm not shooting is that I want our tank to sure to hit him, and then I hit him and we do more damage. If he gets shot, he'll know he's spotted. But anyway, he obviously knows he's spotted. He just doesn't know when he's going to go unspotted. That's why I'm not firing until he gets shot. Back to my other thing here. I got sidetracked with that. When I come in from the side here and I'm flanking them, especially when I'm not spotted, they're not communicating because that Minotauro isn't going to say like, hey guys, come back. I'm getting shot from the left because the T-100 is flanking. He might just be yelling help. Nobody knows what that means. So as I come in here, I'm going to start picking them off one by one from the side while they're mainly focusing in front of them. And this gives us freedom of the entire city on the map because I'm in the corner. There's no chance that an enemy is flanking through there. We have them locked down to this corner, and we have the entire rest of the map. So we have very superior map control to them, and that's how you win the game, because it gets you shots like these. It's not about the trades that you make as much as it is the map control, because once you get this kind of positioning on them, it doesn't matter, you don't need to make trades. Like, this guy doesn't even know where I am. I'm just biding my time at these shots because it's a mouse. So the key here that really applies mostly to lights and mediums is you want that map control. Whatever situation you can get to create a crossfire on the enemy so that they have to look at two different directions to not take damage, or two different directions to peek, that's golden. That's what you're searching for. Very easy to create in this type of situation where I have insane camo rating with the T100 and the enemy team has committed only to one side of the map. But like I've said on the Mines game, there's other ways to create this in other situations that you can apply it to. So it's not just this exact situation where you do it. If you're on another map, then there's different ways to do it. And hopefully in future videos I can show you guys this on other maps. But it's not very often that I get to actually play the game for fun like this and have a really good game. And as you can see, our team has moved up through the city. I allowed them rotation by going through there. In addition to the fact that they have no tanks left, they moved before there was no tanks left. And the reason that they knew they could do that is because I was there. Just simply being in a portion of the map takes that position away from the enemy. So just keep that in mind. If that position's useless, then you don't need to be there. But if you know the enemy has to drive through there to get to your team, or you're currently stopping them from peeking or something, that's just really the best place to be. So this video hopefully helped you carry games. I feel like I know what I'm trying to say, but it's hard for me to be clear on what I'm trying to say in a video and know for sure that everybody understands. So if you don't fully get it, please let me know in the comments. If you join the Discord and you really want to know, I will try to explain it to you using like strat sketch and stuff. Like anything you want, I'll try. But hopefully this is enough to help most people. Just remember the basics. If you want early game information, you want to be able to count to 7 tanks to know where people are at. And if you assume that there's not 7 tanks, you want to find that 7th. And you want to create crossfires all the time and get map control at the same time. So remember those things. Hopefully it helps you in your games, and I'll see you guys in the next video.